Hi guys, it's West Coast Arachnids. Feeding time once again. This time it's for Lasiodora difficilis, the Brazilian fire red bird eater. I give him superworm. These ones here are pretty close to 4 inches. I'd say if not 4 inches or better. I think they're a little bit larger than the Parahybana that I have. They seem to be growing a lot quicker. Just trying to find them a decent sized one here. Most of these are mediums. I need to get a large. I've been feeding these guys out too quickly, dwindling down my brood stock. Anyway, let's drop this in and see if he goes for it. Now they can feel the vibrations from a ways away. He's kind of pulling his legs away like he doesn't want it. Normally I will feed them out of this container here and just kind of get them to go in there. Once they're in there, they'll feel it crawling around and they usually go after it, but he's kind of been spooked. What I'm doing now is gently rubbing his leg. See if I can get this to move over a bit, trying to get him to go into the container there. I keep these guys generally quite humid, about 80%, 70 to 80%. It's very difficult to do and keep mold and fungus down, but I found a container that works really great for that, and these lockdown ones with very little air holes in it. What that does is it keeps the I generally keep a cloth over top, and it keeps the spores, the fungus spores, from getting in there through the air holes and reproducing. But opening up like this, you know, they're going to get in regardless, because you do have to feed them. But this is the new substrate that I didn't really like, but it seems to be quite mold resistant. I think they added something to it, or maybe added some kind of acidic wood to it. I don't know. When I first wet it down and got the brick wet, it started to smell like wet cedar. So this could have some red cedar in it, which I don't really like. I mean, if that is the case, I'd rather them not do that, but it could be just instead of being just coconut husk, it could have actual the hardened coconut shell ground up and put in there with it. And that might be the case, because that kind of looks like what it is if you really look closely at it. Anyway, he doesn't seem to want to eat, so we'll move on to the next one. I'll just leave that in for him. I can tell by the sides there. You can see the little blonde areas on either side. If you look through the hairs there, you can see the actual skin, and it will it'll be dark if he's in pre-molt. She. I think it's more the light that's spooking these guys. They're kept quite low light for most of the day. Anyway, we'll get him out of here. I'll change out his water and I'll get the next one. Okay, this is Lasiodora difficilis number 1. None of these are going to be in order of numbers. This guy had made a complete mess of his bowl. His water dish was just completely full of dirt. So that's been removed. We're going to give him a meal or a superworm here and see if he'll take it. I did spill a little bit of water in the dish there, but that's fine. I'll take it out and give it a good wash. Let's see if he gets this. It doesn't look to be in pre-molt, so it's either not hungry or just freaked out from the light. And give it a little bit of darkness there. You can sense the air movement around him as well. So, moving my hand and such around it is also something these guys are not used to. Other than feeding and maintenance, I don't mess around with them at all. Let's see. He just doesn't want to move at all. That should get him moving. The superworm gets close to his carapace, he's kind of lowering his body as far down as he can. It's not very apparent. I think he's about as far down as he can go. His fangs are in the way now. There we go. So he's not going to eat that. Out it comes. So just update on this guy. He's okay, good to go. I'm gonna tidy things up in here, get him some fresh water, and I'll be right back with the other ones. Okay, this is Lasiodora difficilis number 4. You can see on his lid there. I'm just gonna give him a good sized mealworm. Now this one is recently molted about a week ago. Maybe a little longer, maybe 10 days. He's good and hardened up now. You can see his molt web bed there. He's already been fed once since his molt. Let's see if he'll eat again. There we go. Awesome. I somehow got to get underneath him and remove that whole web bed because he's left his bolus in the web bed, and a bolus is simply his old food that's, you know, wrapped up into a ball and left over. Oh, there we go, I got it. Didn't even have to touch his web bed. Excellent. But I do have to remove this bowl, and it is attached to his dish. So, if you'll just kindly back up a bit, buddy. Remove your leg. Thank you. Good job. And get him a new bowl. Now I take all the old bowls and they get put into the plastic recycling. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that on there. There's a tiny little triangle there. They are recyclable. Actually, right there. I don't know what the other one's just the recycling number. But around here, everything goes into everything all at once. They sort it out wherever they're at. But the recycling bin, I take these two. They have an extra bucket for just caps. pop bottle caps, water caps, everything. It's pretty good. And these guys, their water is either bottled or I buy the 4-liter distilled water. Another way you can do it is just get some glass jars, like pickle jars, 1-liter ones, and boil some water and just pour it in there and leave it overnight, let it cool, and it's good to go. Gets all the chlorine and everything out of it and kills any bacteria that may be in it. So, a little trick my grandma used to teach me when I was young, or show me at least. Anyway, we'll get this guy out of the way. We'll just pull the other one straight out. And he's good. And he's still got his, I don't know if you can see in there, he's still got his food. Once these guys grab their food, they don't generally let it go or anything. Now these little critter keepers, there's 3 colors that I've found so far, and I got all these at the dollar store. I think they're not $1, that's for sure. I think they're about $2 or $3 each. But there's green lids, blue lids, and red lids that I've found so far. I think there was a Halloween one that had black lid, but they weren't put out very long. I didn't like them anyway. They smelled like that really gross Chinese plastic stuff. I don't know what it is. I think it's sprayed with something for shipping so that bugs aren't sent over here. Most of this stuff is made in China anyway, but I find the black plastic, I don't know how it's made, but it's got this really disgusting smell to it, chemically almost. Even food safe stuff. This lid's pretty good still. Okay, he's choked, so I'm going to move this lid to the other side. It's always good to shuffle your lids around into different spots of the enclosure so that if you overspill, it gives that area a chance to dry out. We'll just drop that guy in there and see what happens. He's not even going to notice it there. For every species of tarantula that I have, I'll let their enclosure dry out completely before re-wetting it, simply to avoid fungus and mites. He's hungry, he's just not getting to it quick enough. He's got one little, there we go, palp on it. He's still trying to find it. He's trying to take it out and it's moving backwards on him. You can see it coming out just right here. I don't want to touch it with the tongs. If I do, he's going to turn around and bite the tongs. I don't want him to break a fang. He's got a mouthful of soil. I'm sure he'll find it. It's funny how when they're looking for something, they'll put their whole body over it, and when they feel it move, they move back to get it. Are you gonna get that? Not very good. I think you'd starve in the wild. Maybe this is the reason that only 1% of their eggs ever make it to adulthood. These guys can lay up to, 1,000, 2,000 eggs in a sack. Playing some hide and seek. It's a good thing I didn't drop a superworm in there. It'd have been gone long ago. Well, this guy didn't molt too long ago, so I'm not too worried that he's going to molt again right away. So, in lieu of waiting an hour, you gonna get that? I think he's got it. Oh, it's behind you, buddy. It's behind you. There we go. You get that one. And the other one's kind of sitting behind him. And that's what we're going to pick up right now. There we go. You got it. Excellent. Alright, enjoy that meal, buddy. And that concludes the Lasiodora difficilis. Okay. Y'all take care. Have a great day, and bye for now.